Good afternoon, guitar people. All right, so I'm gonna route for binding and maybe start installing some binding on this video. So what I did was a little test. Set up the router bit, and I set my depth, and the bearing that I install sets the depth this way, but I adjusted my depth here so that the binding is setting just a little proud. You can see there it's setting just a little proud of the surface of the wood, and of course it's just a little proud if you feel it this way, maybe 10th thou or so, 10 or 15th thou that way, so we can scrape it back and make it flush with the wood. And then I check to make sure that acetone works as far as gluing it on. So all I do is flood the area with acetone, and it melts the binding, and it glues itself to the wood. Pretty cool. All right. So this is a binding bit. I bought this from StuMac. I'm sure you could figure out some other way of doing it, but and there's other companies that sell it, but the binding bit stays the same size, and then the bearings are interchangeable, so you can go with all sorts of different thicknesses of binding. So you go with a bigger one, and that'll give you a thinner binding. You go with a smaller bearing, and then you could go with a nice wide binding. So there you have it. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is get my double-sided tape and put it on the back of the guitar. It's another sunny, warm day here in northern Ohio. Really pretty outside. Not quite as hot as it's been. I suppose some people enjoy that. I like it as hot as it could possibly be. I'm a person of the sun. That might change, but for today, that's the way it is. All right. And get this double-sided tape down real nice. One trick with this tape, it's almost impossible to lift the backing with your fingernail. You can see even a razor doesn't want to pull it up. But if you use your razor like this, sort of angle it, you can usually get a corner of it up, and you can get this stuff out of your way pretty quick. Just sort of roll into it like that. There you go. So there's that, and then you stick your guitar to your workbench or a piece of wood or whatever. I'm sticking it to this extra piece of wood so that it makes it easy to clamp down. I'm going to take my clamp here. And it's probably out of camera view, but trust me, there's a clamp on this board. All right. So now we're down, we're nice and secure, and I can run my router around the whole thing. Let's make sure I got enough cable. Okay, good. Nice driver on there with sound effects. How cool is that? Now I need my danger gear. Got some earplugs, so I'm going to start talking funny in a minute. But you might as well protect your hearing so that way you don't have to turn the guitar up too loud, and that'll make Mama happy, in the end. Or, don't wear earplugs. Totally up to you. But if you don't, you'll have hearing damage. That's just science. Okay, so there's that, and you want to protect your lungs too, because the dust is not good all the time. And again, I misplaced my mask. Oh, you know what? Look, it's right here. Okay. Okay, y'all, buckle up. We're about to make some noise. All right, that's it. Here's the binding that we're going to use. Let me take off my gear. All right. So here's the binding. And we're going to use a heat gun to make some tight bends. Look, they give you 2 strips in case you mess one up. See, they know who they're dealing with when they send stuff to me. All we need is one for now. We'll screw up the other one later. All right, all right. Where's my heat gun? Not that one. You know what? I might have it inside. Oh, here it is. This is my trusty old Harbor Freight heat gun. doesn't sound too threatening, does it? Back off, I'll shoot you. With what? With heat gun. Yeah, not very threatening. All right. So we're just gonna get some basic shapes. Put a little tape down, and then once the basic shapes are done, then we're gonna start the binding process, and that'll be a different video. We don't need the acetone yet. Matter of fact, you should keep the acetone off your bench when you're using the heat gun, because the inside of that does get pretty hot. I need my binding tape. Binding tape. Okay. Now, is there a good side and a not so good side? Naturally, you'd think it would want to go this way, but let's take a look. Oh, that looks nice. And that looks the same. Okay, so both sides are the same. The first bend we're going to need is right in there. And we're going to need something to bend it because our finger will get very hot. So, find something round. Okay, we can use the end of that screwdriver. Here we go. It doesn't take much. We're going on heat mode here. That's nice. That's not bad. Let's give it a little more. All right, beautiful. Fold around here. Give that a little heat. All right, so you get the idea. I'm going to go around here, heat it up a little bit, make some of the harder bends, and then I'm going to start taping it off, and that'll be on a new video. All right, peace out, kids. Enjoy yourselves.